Come on. Layer up your cabbage and veggies. And there are your meatballs. And look at that for a bowl full of goodness. And that is real high quality food right there. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today, think cabbage rolls as a soup. We're making meatball and cabbage soup, the same flavors as cabbage rolls. Come on, it's easy, let's do it. We've got a little bit of veggies to prep. I've got onion, carrot, celery, cabbage. So we're just going to come through there on the cabbage. We want chunks of cabbage in here, big slices. Now this is one of those things where you can actually slice up your core and chuck that in. It doesn't matter, nothing goes to waste on this one because it's going to be cooked like a soup. So we just want to take our cabbage and we're just going to do that. Grab a bowl, okay, and break it open, nice and easy. You don't have to, I mean it's going to come apart in the soup anyway. It just makes it a little bit easier when we're cooking. It just starts it off just fine. It's a very rustic way to cook this, and it's a fabulous tasty meal. Eat with crusty bread or just eat on its own, entirely up to you. Easy enough. We've got carrots. Now I've got these baby carrots here. That's what I'm using. I had them in the fridge. Just use normal carrots. We just want some sliced carrot. Back in there. Celery. Nice and steady. Chunks of celery. You can go as thin or as thick as you like. Might as well have that in there with that carrot. Onion. Onion diced, doesn't have to be big or small. It's whatever you feel like. Garlic, mince your garlic. Now you can mince it really fine, chunky for me, and it's going to cook in there. Done. Clear away. Okay, I'm using a ground beef mince, but you know, you can use chicken mince, pork chicken, whatever. You can mix and match. It doesn't matter. Okay, right, we're going to make some meatballs. So we're going to chuck our garlic in there, breadcrumbs, in there an egg, a little bit of salt, salt and pepper to taste, in there black pepper, dried parsley, in there. And we want to give it a bring in, don't we? In there, bring it in, make up our meatballs. Now I'm using breadcrumbs in the meatballs, and I'm not adding milk or anything to it to soften it, because it is actually going to be cooked in the soup. It won't make a blind bit of difference. Right, you can spend as much time as you like bringing that together. I'm going to split that. We want about 10 meatballs out of this one. So let's come in there. Now, I'm not bothered weighing them out. You know, that's entirely up to you. So you should get roughly about 20 meatballs out of this. Got a pan going on, look. And we're using some olive oil. Let's get some olive oil in there. Okay, when you've got your olive oil warm enough, in there with those meatballs. Yeah, I'm going to crowd the pan. We just have to jiggle them about. This is an optional step, you know, you don't have to put any colour on the meatballs. You can just dump those straight in the soup. However, if we put a little bit of brown on there, It's going to add that extra flavour dimension. Come on. Okay, when you've got a little bit of colour on there, we'll add those out of there. Straight in a bowl. They're going to go back in the soup. Now what we've got going on, we've got some flavour in this pan already, being released from this meat. So it's going to work out to our advantage. It's giving us a nice flavour already in here. Okay, we've got this garlic and that, we can get that out. We don't want that to burn. That's one side. We want our onions, want our carrots, our celery. 5 minutes on there. Nice and steady. And you don't have to put the carrots in or the celery in, onions in separately. We're making a soup, so it's going to boil anyway. So just get it in. Yeah, I'm going to mince some more garlic. Put that in there. So we've got garlic in the meatballs. We're going to have to put a little bit in here. Like that in there, look. Might as well have some flavour in there too, hadn't we? Okay, start to introduce your cabbage. Nice and steady on there, just turn it in. By cooking it this way, what's going to happen is, if it catches a little bit on the pan in a couple of minutes, it's going to release its own sweetness in there, you know. You can't beat cabbage that's been slightly caramelised. It has a lot better flavour. So just bring it in there, more cabbage. Tin tomatoes. As per usual, I'm using whole tomatoes. Just use chopped if you've got chopped. Chop them up in there with a pair of scissors. Avoid all the mess in there. I want a couple of tablespoons of tomato puree or paste, whatever you know it by. A little bit of Worcester sauce. You can use Henderson's if you so wish. A little bit of dried thyme. A couple of bay leaves. A little bit of smoked paprika. Got a little bit of Dijon. Very European this, you know. Red wine. And we want our beef broth. Beef broth made out of gravy granules, powder, OXO cubes, anything you want. Okay, bring all that in there, nice and steady. We're going to return our meatballs in there. So bring it up to a simmer and we'll stick a lid on. We'll stick a lid on and we're going to cook that for about 25 minutes, somewhere around about there. 25, half an hour. Everything will be perfectly cooked. We should have a little bit of crunch left in the cabbage. It shouldn't have all dissolved in there. So let's bring it up to the simmer. Now, in that 25 minutes, obviously you can come around and just give it one of those. Make sure nothing's stuck on the bottom, yeah? Okay, we're up to a simmer. I'm going to put that on there. A little bit to come out, so it's not quite sealed. There you go. 20-25 minutes. We'll have a look at it. Okay, I've had about 20 minutes. Let's have a look. I want about 10 minutes cooking. Oh, it smells absolutely amazing. I want about 10 minutes cooking, no lid on. Now, it's not going to thicken. If you wanted to do that, you're going to have to put a little bit of cornstarch in there. This is a soup. Okay, we want a soup with cooked veggies in there and our meatballs. And obviously those veggies are releasing into the soup. It's all been in one pan. There you go. 10 minutes. Okay, we've had about 10 minutes. And this is how I like it, okay? We've got just enough clingy soup, just enough thickness in that soup to be enjoyed. Now, for those people who like it a little bit thicker, a little bit of corn flour and water, cornstarch, corn flour. Now, don't go crazy. We're not trying to make it into a Chinese. Just add a little bit and let it have a minute, and it will thicken. Okay, you will end up with a nice, glossy, thick soup. Now, if you can see those bay leaves, get them out. There's one. And I did just see the other one. There it is. We don't want those in there now. They've done their job. Right, just give it a couple of minutes and we're serving. And you will have a little thicker soup. So that's good enough for me. Turn off the flame. And we want to chuck some fresh parsley in there. And obviously if you don't have it, you ain't chucking it in. I'm just going to save a little bit to warm my soup. Stir that through and let's serve it up. Look at that. We want to be taking some of that broth out of there into there. Oh, there's a thickness there. Look at that. That is proper quality. Come on. Layer up your cabbage and veggies. And there are your meatballs. And look at that for a bowl full of goodness. And there, a bit of parsley. And that is real high quality food right there. There you have it. Unbelievable quality food. Just the right thickness for a soup, look. Look at that. Oh, that is sensational. Oh, what a flavour profile there. Okay, come on, let's give this cabbage and that a try. See what we've got. Looking a bit hot. Oh, outstanding. Bit of crunch on there, carrot. Oh, tiny bit of crunch in there. Superb. That cabbage has got a little bit of crunch in there. Very nice cabbage flavour. It's all come out. Oh, it's delicious. We've got a lovely beefy tomatoey broth. That is sensational. Now the thing is, you would eat this with crusty bread or whatever, but I'm just going to eat it as is. In here, our meatballs. Look at that. Look in there. Juicy. Look at that juiciness. Succulent. Perfectly cooked. Oh. Oh. Another level. Oh, that is sensational. That is a fantastic, fantastic meatball and cabbage soup. Very European, a splash of wine, completely optional. You don't have to put that in at all. The tomatoes, the beef broth, they've got the Worcester in there. It's an incredible flavour. One to make. 100% one to make. Great family meal, any time of year. And you know, reasonably priced. You know, it's a cabbage and a bit of broth. Add some mince. And obviously you make the meatballs as small as you like if you have to make it go further. Not a problem. There you go, sensational dish. There you go, that's a different take on cabbage roll-ups. It's got virtually the same flavour, same ingredients, another way to do it. It's absolutely superb. That's our cabbage and meatball soup. If you like what we're doing, share with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to make this. One pan. Everything all the flavour in one pan. If you do like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Oh, and we'll catch you in the next video. That is just delicious. Oh, so simple.